you in the email. We're going to do actually the first 5 movements of the 8 brocades. And again, I'm going to show you here how even the 8 brocades as a sequence, it's based on the phase 1 and phase 2 and phase 3 principles. The reason I wanted to share them today is because the first 4 movements, they help open up the heart and they achieve those objectives of releasing and relaxing and opening. So we'll get started, and then they move on to phase 2, by the way. So and I'll explain how that works too. So make your body comfortable, move around on your feet a little bit, stand up on your toes, rock on your heels, shake your shoulders, bounce your knees up and down, shake your hands out a little bit. Your hands also are a key component, as we've talked about, with your chest and with your heart opening. So just shaking them out and getting the blood flow is helpful. You can shake your elbows, loosen it up, relax your lower back. And then let's just take a deep breath, reach your hands out and inhale. And then exhale and bend the knees. And again, reach out and breathe in. And then exhale and bend the knees. And then one more time. Breathe in and breathe out. All right. So the first brocade is pushing up the sky. So our knees are bent. We start out that way. And we bring our hands to the abdomen with our palms face up. And then we lift our hands up and then face the palms up to the sky. And then from here, we straighten the knees and begin to push up the sky. And you look up to the sky and reach your arms up. And then you let your hands just come back down. And your gaze also comes back to eye level, and you can look down to the earth as well as your knees bend. And then your hands come up again, and the palms are going to flip upwards towards the sky. And then here we straighten the knees as we push. This is like the tension point where we push. Your feet press into the earth. You look up to the sky, and then your hands come down. And you bend the knees. And you can look down to the earth, grounding. And then the hands come up again. And as we learn Qigong, I always stress that the physical movement is the first piece. You just get comfortable with the form. And you don't worry about the breathing at first, because that really just comes naturally. You're probably already breathing along with this. So as the palms flip up and you push, that's when you do the breath in. So you inhale. And then as your hands come down, you breathe out. And there's one more little piece to this that I never really start with, so because I don't want to fall over when I'm teaching. But we push up the sky, and then you stand up a little bit on your tiptoes and really stretch the arms up. And then you come down, lowering the hands down again and bending the knees. And the toes are a really wonderful component of this. Standing on the toes helps really connect you to the earth, ground your energy. So you breathe in, and then up on the tiptoes, reach up, stretch your whole body, and then come down. Let's do one more. So I've been reading James Redfield books lately, and this last one I'm reading, he shares about Tai Chi and Qigong and waking up every morning and focusing on your center and moving your body and doing these forms. So I took the lead, and I've been practicing every morning with that concept of moving the body and doing these forms and practicing from your center, from your lower dantian, and imagining the energy of the universe just pouring into you and flowing out of you. So let's do one more. We'll breathe in, reach, And then breathe out. I teetered a little on that one and bend the knees. Okay, so the reason that brocade is so effective and it's the first one is because most of our meridians flow vertically. So when we reach our body up like that and they start down at the toes or up at the fingertips, it activates all the meridians. So that's why when we wake up in the morning and we just yawn, it's like a good natural way of opening our energy. So the next brocade is the archer stance. And this is going to be a good one too, that you can, oh, my slippers are a little slippery. I'll have to get a mat next time. But as we're going into the metal element in the autumn time, the solstice is coming up. This practice is really good for the lungs. So we'll be doing similar exercises. So we're going to bring the feet out a little wider, and then you cross your hands like this, and then make a fist. And I'll be your mirror. I think I'm still your mirror on Zoom. So I'll talk backwards from what I'm doing. But you make a fist in your right hand, and then your left palm's going to come around, and you sink, and then you draw the bow. And I like to just hold it here, especially when I'm teaching it. Hold the posture there for a moment and just feel the stretch out to your thumb and your pointer finger. Those are the large intestine and lung meridians, the metal element. So you just feel that stretch activating those meridians. And go ahead and just take a deep breath into that stretch. And then breathe out. Your lungs are so happy. And then release that fist and drop your hand down and out. And then we'll cross our forearms and make a fist in your left hand. I like to make a fist with the pinky first, closing the fist, and then bring the right hand out. So from here, we sink and draw the bow and turn the head, and we feel that stretch out to the thumb, the lung meridian, and your pointer finger, large intestine. Take a deep breath in, and then breathe out and open your fist from the thumb this time. Open it up and out. Drop your hands down and out. And so don't worry about your feet. There are ways of moving your feet as we make the form more complex, but this is the simplified version. So you cross your hands, fist in your right hand, and then with your left hand, you can bring down these three fingers, and that just creates a greater emphasis on the lung and large intestine meridian. So you can close those fingers, and then bend the knees and pull, and then release. As you open up that right fist, drop it down and out, and then cross the forearms, fist in your left hand, close those last three fingers of your right hand, and then sink and draw the bow, and then release, and let the arrow fly, drop your left hand down and out. And you've probably intuited where the breathing occurs. So as we draw the bow, that's the tension. We pull and we breathe in. And as we release, we exhale. And just breathe naturally. If you need to breathe in and out at a different speed, that's just fine. Breathing in and breathing out. So this is a good one to engage in. If you just pick one brocade for right now, this is timely for the lungs and the metal element that we're heading into. Let's do that again, a couple times more back and forth. So with the left hand in a fist, you sink the knees, inhale, and then exhale. Cross the forearms, fist in the right hand, and then inhale, and exhale. And as you learn the five element information too. You can imagine your lungs filling with white light, that metal energy. Okay. So the lung energy feels good. And now the third brocade. So as you can see, these brocades are mainly upper body, right? They're opening up and expanding the chest. And again, that's that intent we're looking for. So the third one is separating heaven and earth. And that's referring to heaven, the crown chakra, and earth, the root chakra. And the intent is to extend the spine, to stretch and circulate the energy through the vertebrae from root to crown. So feet are back to shoulder width. And then we just kind of hold the energy here in the abdomen. And I was practicing this morning too, and the light was coming through the window behind me and putting my shadow on the wall. And I remembered how helpful it is if you practice these in front of a mirror or with a shadow. It's really wonderful because I found if you project your visualization onto the mirror or onto the shadow, like if you're focusing on your dantian or you're focusing on your heart chakra, it manifests within you too. It's a really fun thing to play with. So see your shadow on the wall or your reflection in the mirror and just watch your body, look at your body and visualize the energy through your body. So third brocade, we're going to raise the left arm up like this. So the fingers point in towards the crown and the right hand's going to face down. And then we straighten the knees. So we press the feet to the earth and extend the hands. And you can just hold it here, get your feet at a comfortable width so you feel they're kind of sinking into the earth. That's an important piece of this, is feeling the feet sink and the palms pushing. And then the spine relaxes so that the root sinks and the crown stretches upward. And feel your spine and smile to your spine and just feel that whole channel of vertebrae happy and flowing with healthy chi. And then bring your hands down and up and bend your knees. And then we just switch. So we bring the right arm up and the fingers are going to point in towards the crown. Left hand's going to face down at the side. And then we press and straighten the knees. Feel the feet sink to the earth. And what the feet pressing a little bit to the earth, that helps release tension in your lower back. It takes the strain off of your lower back so that you can let it go and especially feel those lower vertebrae release and expand and stretch. And your tailbone curls up a little bit. And you feel the top of your head, crown chakra. And then this activates those meridians through your arms out to the middle finger, your pericardium, and your triple warmer meridian. And then let's release that and bend the knees. So you can practice these at any speed. And I like to do them, especially as I'm demonstrating. It's helpful to hold the posture. And then as you engage in the flow, you don't really hold it usually unless you feel intuitively that it is good to do so. And I do oftentimes actually, especially with this one, holding the posture here and taking some breaths in and out and being mindful of your shoulders being relaxed and centering your breath down in the dantian. So you can practice with holding the posture or just moving with each breath. Then we'll bring the right arm up, fingers facing into the crown, left hand down, fingers facing forward, and then press the feet to the earth. Feet pressing into the earth, palms pushing. Feel the crown and the root, and then release. And again, you've probably intuited the breathing. It's pretty natural, same concept. So as we push, we breathe in. And as we return, we breathe out. And for most of these too, Eventually, you want to be breathing in and out through your nose, and your mind staying centered on the abdomen, and then encouraging the breath to flow into the lower abdomen. But that's not always natural at first. You might need to open up the chest if you feel constricted in the chest. You might be doing some chest breathing. So ultimately, you're breathing naturally, but you have that intention to center in the lower dantian and get the breath going there, because that eventually holds your heart open when you build up the energy there. So let's do a couple more. So left hand up, we press and inhale, and then we exhale. Right arm comes up, breathing in, breathing out. And you can extend your visualization so you feel that energy connection out to the universe through the top of your head and down deep into the earth, through the root, and then return. And we'll do one more. Right arm coming up, left hand down, breathing in and breathing out. All right, so the next one has become one of my favorites. It was really hard to learn, even though it looks really simple. It's called looking over your shoulder. And this one's really good for the back of your head, for your neck, for your shoulders, with lots of things. And it really helps you tune in into your upper dantian as well, too. There's the twisting and squeezing motion that happens with this. As you've seen already, there's the element of tension with each movement and then relaxation, the yin and the yang. So same with this one. So your knees are bent and your palms face behind you. And then you face your palms forward, and then you straighten your knees as you turn your head, and your eyes are looking at eye level behind you. It's really important. So we'll just hold this for a moment. Your shoulders are relaxed, and your eyes are kind of gazing just as much as is comfortable. And then eventually, too, you're kind of reaching through your fingertips, kind of extending from the back of your neck and shoulders down through your fingertips. And then you come back. Again, your eyes are on that plane, that horizontal plane at eye level, and then the palms face behind you and the knees bend. So then again, the palms forward. We straighten the knees as we turn our head. Feel the fingertips just kind of sink to the earth. Feel that squeeze in the back of the head all the way into the brain, and then return and bend the knees. Palms forward, straighten the knees, slowly turning the head. Feel the fingertips, even just the energy through the tips of the fingers reaching to the earth, and then return and bend the knees. So with this one, I recommend, I have historically held a lot of tension in the back of my neck and shoulders. And what helped me with this one is to really do a lot of repetitions so that you're not pressing, you're not pushing to turn your head really all the way at first. You just do as much as feels comfortable and do a lot of repetitions, and then it just naturally works itself out. And that's what's so wonderful about these practices. If you just do them and you do them as they feel comfortable, then it all works itself out. The energy just opens things up, and you don't need to push. So if you feel discomfort or pain, then you want to back off a little bit. And then, as you have probably found out, the breathing, as you're turning, you inhale. As you return, you breathe out. palms forward, press the feet to the earth, inhale, and exhale. And again, that component of breathing to the abdomen is really where you'll feel this one reach its full potential, is when you can practice this with the upper body relaxed, the head and the neck relaxed, and feeling the feet grounded to the earth, and the breath just very naturally and comfortably going into the abdomen. And that's where phase 2 comes in, is the lower dantian. And we'll get to those practices more as we get into the winter time. So let's do that one once more, back and forth. So the palms forward, breathing in, fingers stretched to the earth, breathing out, bend the knees, and then palms forward, feet press, breathe in, and breathe out. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4 for the upper body. Sweep down your arms a little bit. And I was only going to share the first 4, but then I realized how important the 5th brocade is for the purposes that we're doing today. The chest breathing, this one connects with that because it's called deer wags its tail. But one thing it does is it helps purge excess fire from the heart. So it helps us clear and open the middle dantian. And the way it does it is through engaging in the lower body. And again, I'll explain as we move along how phase 2, once we do establish that deep abdominal breathing and accumulate the energy there, it helps us cleanse at a deeper level from having that fullness of energy and clearing out our energy channels more deeply. So the deer wags its tail, your feet come apart, and your toes point out. And it's important on this one to allow your feet to move and adjust so that the movement's really comfortable. So now my slippery slippers are effective for this one. So you bend your knees down, and your hands go on your thighs, and then you're going to look to your left, and you sink inside your legs a bit, and then you shift your weight to the right. And I like to kind of extend that left arm, and then you come up on your right foot, and then you sink down the center. Okay, so then we'll look to the right, sink inside the left leg, and you shift to the left, and you kind of feel your weight as you do that. So the weight goes from right foot through the hip, through the other hip to the foot, and come up. So your mindfulness moves through the legs from one foot through the hip into the other foot. So it'll sink, and you look to your left, shift to the right, and here's where you breathe in. And on this one, you exhale through your mouth. You're purging that fire from the chest. Look to the right, sink, shift to the left, breathe in, and then exhale through the mouth. So how many more do you want to do of this one? Okay, so look to the left, sink, shift to the right, breathe in, and then exhale. So this one you can feel opening your hips, and it helps bring the breath down in the lower abdomen. Inhale, feel that chest, and then exhale. And let's do once more, back and forth. Look to the left, sink, shift to the right, breathe in, and exhale, and then sink one more time. Look to the right, dip in between the legs, shift to the left, and exhale. Okay, so we'll do the beginning of the last, or of the 6th brocade too, because it just flows so naturally, helps us get our breathing back before I start speaking more, so I won't be panting. But so your palms face down, and you let your hands float up, and you breathe in and exhale. And you can bend the knees. And then the same way, just let the hands float up, straighten and inhale, and then exhale. And bend the knees. And then reach your hands out, inhale, and exhale. A couple times more. Feel down to your feet. Look down to the earth. And once more, inhale, and exhale. So to finish the Qigong, I want us to stand in what's becoming one of my favorite postures. Just your feet together. It's called the oneness posture. And then your hands can come up over your head and palms together, and bring your hands down in front of your chest and let your thumbs just kind of sit against your chest. And you can close your eyes. I found this is a great concluding and opening exercise. So as you're beginning your Qigong practice, and it's a good initiator. You know, if you're not really strong yet in the habit of doing a practice every day, just promise yourself you'll do this. You'll just go stand in front of your space, your altar, or wherever you practice, and you just stand this way for a couple minutes. And you'll start to move after that. You'll do more if you just do this one. So you feel the top of your head, the crown chakra, and just imagine your connection with the universe way out in space above your head. And relax the top of your head. Soften that area. And then imagine the energy coming down through your brain and down into your heart. Feel your chest relax. Feel down into your lower abdomen and your lower back. And down through your legs and your feet. And down into the earth. And imagine the energy all around you, just surrounding you, blanketing you in energy. Just imagine your aura that connects you with the rest of the universe. And imagine that connection through the crown. It just charges every little particle of light or photon of light, every little bit of energy in your body and in your aura gets magnified. And feel your energy expand and get brighter. Raising your energy. And then smile, feel your face smile. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. And open your hands and sweep down through your arms. And sweep down through the lower back and the legs. Shake out your hands and feet. Good job with your Qigong. So those are the first 5 brocades. And remembering there to help open up the heart chakra and also establishing the mind and body connection. So through opening the heart, that allows our attention to sink into the body, which allows the energy to come into the body more profoundly. And then initiates phase two, which is accumulating the energy and building our energy level.